Hey, leader, 10 years ago, we put out a book called Figure That Shift Out. We're celebrating the 10-year birthday with 10 stories of transformation of people who went through Figure That Shift Out and experienced a completely new level. They didn't get there by pushing harder in the pressure. They learned how to see clearly who they are in the best and worst of moments. We could say how they could relax into their brilliance. Listen in on these stories as you consider what might be possible for your own transformation. Welcome, everybody, to the Sight Shift podcast. So fun, this series we're in now, 10 years, 10 stories, as we celebrate 10 years, Figure That Shift Out. It's having a birthday. And so as I put this together and was thinking about this, I wanted to select some people that are just special to me, and I think their stories are compelling. And really excited to have Salla on the podcast today. Salla, as I introduce you, I want to tell everybody she's in Finland. And so she is not only talking deep about life change, she's doing it with a second language. So Salla, welcome to the podcast. Tell us a little bit about what you do there in Finland and your role, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, glad to be here in your podcast, Chris. I'm your fan since 2016, I think. So my name is Salla Alajoki, and I live here in the Finland, close Helsinki region, and I work as a senior manager in a factory, and the company I work in is called Vaisala. So we manufacture measurement equipment for industrial and weather use globally. So we have also factories in US, but I'm based in Helsinki.
Awesome. Yeah, I remember when we did the engagement with a couple of the teams there. This would have been in 2020. And it was so cool to learn like the technology you guys do was on the Mars rover mission. And so
Yeah.
all kinds of business application and scientific expedition and journey. But yeah, I think it's really cool how this is one of those rare stories because I can kind of look at a lot of the people we've connected with and impacted, and I can see it's from relationship people we're connected to. So there's a reason why Orlando or Phoenix or Greenville, South Carolina has stuff happening because there are people there, right?
Mm.
You guys, it was so interesting when you and your teammate, because you found Sight Shift through the podcast, which is just wild. Uh,
Yeah.
and you started listening to the podcast, and then you guys came over, and I happened to be in Orlando for an event, so we met there, and we did Figure That Shift Out in the hotel, like lunch area, break area, whatever.
Yeah,
Sitting
in
there.
2 days.
Yeah, we did it, and we did it over 2 days. And so, what a cool thing, just for you guys to be that committed to your growth. Now, what was the motivation for you? Like, what did you hear in the podcast, or what was happening in your world that you're like, I want to get better. I want to see something develop.
Yeah. Yes. That time, like 2016, me and my colleague listened to your podcast like on repeat for 1 year, and we thought that this was really something special what comes to the leadership.
Mm,
It was more focused on you as a leader, not just learning leadership techniques. And that was the one main thing that fascinated us. So we listened to podcast. It was like basically to figure the shift out 12
yeah.
sessions in a podcast format. And then we thought that it would be cool to see you and uh, go to figure that shift out course with you, and that to elevate our leadership. And that at that time I was working as a project manager, and that kind of leadership is quite challenging because you don't have the formal position to like being a manager, but lead with you need a lot of leadership and impact and how to motivate people without a formal power. So that fascinated us. And at that time, me and my colleague both had some challenges in our personal life and in the relationships. And what we thought was that figure that shift out could help not only in the like work related stuff, but also in our personal life. So we took the chance to got the chance to travel to US and do the course with you. So really grateful for that.
Yeah. Wow. Props to you guys because you very quickly figured out personal, professional application possibilities. And then I still remember Posse saying when we were there, um, we wanted to jump on this before this grew more, and we couldn't just be in the room with you like this.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
and I'm so grateful for the growth that Site Shift has had, and I love being in the room with people. But yeah, relative to where things are now, you guys got a really great deal, and that was really smart
Yeah,
to
yeah.
to jump on that moment. What for you, like those early days coming out of the coaching, what did it do for you? What do you recollect the best you can that you go, wow, this was awareness or shift in behavior that I gained?
Mhm. Yeah, I think the course was intense and immersive, but it left a lasting impact on how I see myself and people around me. So I learned a lot about myself and how I react and things I before the figure that shift out even didn't realize or see in my behavior, but those patterns that go on repeat and repeat. So those I learned quite quickly, and it really opened my eyes that
Mm.
it's uh, always the same, like circle that I go around and around. So that was eye-opening. And as I went through this training with my colleague, it was really beneficial as I saw also his behavior and fears and learned that we we tend to have different fears and how that affects how we see relationships and the world in
Mm.
general.
Mm. That's awesome. I'm so glad you made that point because there are people that have only experienced figure that shift out one to one with me now
Yeah.
or now with other coaches. And one of the things that uh, and there are a lot of companies, they've only experienced it as groups. So you have kind of like positive and negatives of both. But one of the things that we're seeing a lot of success with the last few years is like, look, if you go through this with other people,
Mhm.
this is going to bond you like never before because you're going to start to see humans differently. There's a different identity fear, there's a different movie in their head. And then you're going to start to translate that to your team so that you can work better together and understand each other and how to give each other what you really need so that there's this momentum that develops relationally. And
Mm.
one of the messages that we've kind of locked in on the last few years is insecure leaders ruin their world, they ruin their team. And if you can do the opposite of that, become secure in your identity, then your team gets deeper and connected than ever before. Um, and so what a powerful way to frame that with your experience with your colleague. Now here's what's really cool as we tell the story here, and we're looking now at kind of like act one where we were, act two, what we saw happen. For Sala's story, she's got an act three. Um, so we had developed site shift certification to certify people and figure that shift out. And um, and if I remember correctly, you were in one of the first batches of coaches to get certified. So that was like you and I were locked in at that point, and you did it. You start coaching people. And I want to fill in one more little detail at the end before I do that. What's that been like? You obviously were compelled enough to want to get certified. Why do you keep wanting to take people through figure that shift out now?
Yeah, I think uh, I always say to the ones that I coach that do this for free in my company because I want to change and impact on the leadership culture that we have in Finland.
Mm, mm,
That uh, like giving huge impact on the people's leadership, and I want people to have better leaders
yeah.
first in our company and perhaps later on in in Finland in general.
Woo.
And what I wanted to do, because I learned so much about myself doing the figure that shift out. I had a strong desire to share what I've learned with my colleagues in Vaisala. And now I've coached about almost 20 people, 20 colleagues in Vaisala over the 4 years. So I do this like 1 or 2 people in semester. So
Yeah.
it takes half a year. So I have always 2 people rolling into coaching.
Salla, that's incredible. And I mean, what a powerful like collaborative vision. So your organization believes in you. They're
Mm.
investing the resources financially to get you certified and to keep that certification. And then you're saying, I'm going to now coach people. And I mean, 20 people. There are so many people their whole lives deeply affect 1 or 2 people, if that. Like,
Yeah,
that's incredible. And the way you just cast that vision, and you're like, it's not just for these 20 people. Let's imagine the domino effect. Let's shift
yeah,
the conversation of leadership in Finland. Mad props to the vision. And it's happening because the cool part to share here is now someone you've coached got certified.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, Anne.
I mean, and so that means they had such a powerful experience with you. They wanted to keep doing this work. And that's how multiplication works. And I think, you and I could connect, I think, emotionally on just this reality that the world is so crazy right now and politics are so
Yes,
divisive. And I think for our American audience, if I can educate them a little bit, Finland is right up there against Russia, and they may not fully appreciate that. And the tension that you guys live in emotionally and politically and all the challenge that that means to your nation, we can't change it from the top down, but we can the bottom up. We can change lives,
yes,
you know? Whew, I got chills. Salla, I want to keep going, but we are doing these as these 10-minute stories. So thank you for being here today. Thank you for inspiring us and being a model we can follow. And SiteShift's always got your back with that vision. We're here for you.
yeah. Thanks.
Thanks,
Peace.
Peace. Thanks for listening in as we dove into the story of transformation. As someone went through Figure That Shift Out, we're celebrating 10 years, 10 stories. And I don't want it just to be something you listen to. Explore what might be possible. Imagine how far you might go in your leadership. And join one of our Figure That Shift Out coaching groups. Work with one of our certified coaches. I look forward to hearing about the transformation that you go through as a result of Figure That Shift Out.